Mr. Speaker, Canada and our allies depend on satellite communications to safely perform peace and security operations around the world. The news that the Liberal government has fast-tracked the sale of Norsat is causing the U.S. government to review its use of Norsat components. Why, Mr. Speaker? Because they feel it could put their operations and their people at risk. My question is for the Minister of National Defence. Why is this Liberal government putting the security of Canada and our allies at risk, all to appease the Chinese government?
Mr. Secretary, the Minister of Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. We are not compromising our national security. We are not compromising our national interest. We are, in fact, trying to balance our national interest, Mr. Speaker. We relied on a process, Mr. Speaker, that put our national security first and foremost. That process was followed. Our national security agencies did their due diligence. They investigated the transaction. They had all the facts in front of them. Mr. Speaker, they gave us their opinion. We're following that opinion. We trust our national security agencies. We will never put our security at risk.
The honourable member for Durham.
Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister has attended Cash for Access fundraisers with Chinese billionaires. He's publicly expressed his admiration for the basic dictatorship in China. Chinese interests are funding a statue of his father. And now the Prime Minister is fast-tracking the sale of Canadian businesses to China without full security reviews. Our former ambassador to China has called this Prime Minister's approach naive and worrying. I agree, Mr. Speaker. Has the government House Leader asked the Ethics Commissioner about possible conflicts of interest with respect to the Prime Minister and transactions involving China?
Good question.
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary and Minister of Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, there's a very clear process envisioned under the Investment Canada Act. It's a multi-step process that requires our national security agencies to look at the facts, get the facts in front of them, and make a national security recommendation. We followed that process, Mr. Speaker, to the letter. We followed their advice. We trust our national security agencies who have done their due diligence, and we have undertaken this multi-step process as it should have been undertaken.